Well, the 2024-25 NBA playoffs is officially underway, with all 8 series now tipping off and being one game through completion of their best of 7. But last night, something else pretty impactful happened. If you were paying attention, the NBA released their award finalists for various top-tier awards, including the most valuable player. And to nobody's surprise, the 3 finalists are, for my money, the best 3 players on planet Earth. That would be Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. With Shai Gilgeous-Alexander expected to take home the MVP award this year by a fairly significant margin, and Giannis Antetokounmpo expected to finish a distant third behind Nikola Jokic. But if you were paying attention to the first couple games that were played in the NBA playoffs so far, we can see a trend that was really percolating around the regular season, and it has been bared out in just the first game of these playoffs to this point. And what am I talking about? Just how damn good several of these top-tier title contending teams are compared to the Denver Nuggets. Of course, we're talking about the age-old battle between Shai and Jokic. Jokic and Shai. Just who is more valuable? Is it more valuable to take a great team and make them historically great? Or is it more valuable to take a lottery team, a probable 20 or less win team, and make them a 50-win team? Well, that is the battle that will be percolating and playing out around various media hot stoves in the next couple weeks as we await the final tally of this year's MVP voting. But looking at the first round now, which again is officially in the books, we saw on the first day, Saturday, the Denver Nuggets with a captivating, compelling, very tight, harrowing win in overtime, a 2-point victory over the LA Clippers, a game in which Nikola Jokic was virtually on his seasonal averages of a 30-point triple-double. He dropped 29 points, 13 assists, and 9 rebounds in that game, added 3 steals for good measure. And the Clippers looked to be the better team throughout that game, but the Nuggets did find a way to get the win, and it was behind Nikola Jokic and kind of a ragtag bunch of performances from Aaron Gordon. He had a great performance there. Russell Westbrook was big in the clutch. But again, we saw the same pervasive issues plaguing the Denver Nuggets, which have throughout the vast majority of Nikola Jokic's tenure now. We had Jamal Murray drop 21 in that game, but on a very inefficient 20 shot attempts. Michael Porter Jr., the alleged third option there, he's certainly being paid like an elite option, making nearly $40 million a year. Yeah, he contributed 3 points in that game. And this is just kind of what the Nuggets are going to have to be. This is what the Nuggets have been all year. Find a way to not lose too many points around Nikola Jokic. They lost 8 points in the few minutes that he sat in that game. And that's what it's going to be all postseason. Try to have Jokic play around 40 minutes, play the other team even, or get, a couple point advantage, and don't lose too much of it when he goes to the bench. But when you look at Nikola Jokic's counterpart in his first game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in the Oklahoma City Thunder's first game against the Memphis Grizzlies, well, Shai didn't have a very good game. At halftime, he was shooting 2 of 10 for 9 points. He ended the game with only 15 points on 4 of 13 from the field. But none of that really mattered. The Thunder were up by over 30 points at halftime. They cruise to a 51-point victory for the game. That would be 131-80. A 51-point win in the playoffs, with the presumptive league MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, going 4 of 13 from the field and scoring only 15 points. This is not a negative commentary about Shai. I personally am very high on Shai. I had Shai winning the MVP at the start of the season, the Thunder winning the championship at the start of the season. But after seeing how it played out, after seeing how valuable Nikola Jokic was, I think that there should be a course correction here by the voters, and Nikola Jokic should be winning the MVP. And these 2 games that we see against the Clippers for the Nuggets and against the Grizzlies for the Thunder, just a microcosm of it. And yes, the Clippers are a much better team than the Memphis Grizzlies, especially at this stage of the season. While Memphis was holding a top 3 seed for much of the year. They limped to the finish line. They fired their head coach. Does any of this sound familiar? That's exactly what the Denver Nuggets did. They limped to the finish line. They fired their head coach while they're playing a very hot Clippers team that entered the playoffs winners of 8 straight, 18 of their 21 coming into the postseason, and yet they just find a way around Nikola Jokic because Jokic is the most valuable player. He is the greatest floor riser in the game today, probably ever, when you look at the fact this team can lose to anyone in the NBA and beat anyone in the NBA. They would be about a 19 to 20 win team without Nikola Jokic, and that's not speculation. Guys, look at the net ratings without Nikola Jokic this year. They are minus 8.01 without Nikola Jokic per 100 possessions. That is an aggregate of every second Nikola Jokic has sat this year, and per 100 possession average, minus 8.01. That would be good for 5th worst in the NBA. And if you look at some of those teams surrounding Washington, Utah, Charlotte, those teams, one of them won more than the teens. One won 21 games. The rest were under 20 wins. That's what this team is without Nikola Jokic. Not a surprise, therefore, that they lost to Washington twice. And they lost with historical performances coming from Nikola Jokic. In the one game, Jokic had 40 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. And in the other game against the Wizards, 56 points, 16 rebounds, and 8 assists. High level of efficiency in both games, over 50% shooting from the field in each. Both losses to the Wizards. Yet, they also split. The historically great Oklahoma City Thunder this year split them 2-2, again on the back of Nikola Jokic, who in that series, that 4-game series against the Thunder during the regular season, Jokic averaged 25 points per game, 16 rebounds per game, 12 assists per game, 1.5 steals, 1.8 blocks, and shot 53% from the field, again, splitting the Oklahoma City Thunder. They can beat anybody, they can also lose to anybody because this team stinks. It is lousy. Whereas Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's team wins by 50 points in a playoff game in which he shoots 4 of 13 from the field and scores only 15 points. Again, it's a microcosm of what we've seen all season long, as the Oklahoma City Thunder were plus 5.14 without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander per 100 possessions. He was off of the floor in comparison to Nikola Jokic, whose team is 5th worst league-wide without him on average, based on every second he played this year. Using that same evaluation standard with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, his team would be the 3rd best in the NBA. 3rd best behind only Boston and Cleveland. That is how good this Thunder team is. That is why, quite frankly, as great as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was this year, and he was great, the lift wasn't as much. The ask wasn't as extreme. He wasn't able to show the value that he provides as much as Nikola Jokic was in his case because his team stinks. The Thunder will likely go on to win the championship, and that's not going to validate anything when you look back at who should have been the MVP of the regular season. The same thing can be said, by the way, if you're looking at what happened with the Boston Celtics this weekend as well in their first game of the playoffs, which happened yesterday. Jason Tatum, who again, these are great players. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, arguably the 2nd best player in the NBA. Definitely a top 3 player. Shai is heading towards his 3rd consecutive first-team All-NBA selection, and that is extraordinarily deserving. Jason Tatum, on the other hand, well, he's heading to his 4th All-NBA first-team selection, and he was in action yesterday in his first-round matchup against a pretty hot Orlando Magic, a Magic team that is the 7th seed. But let's make no mistakes, this team was the 7th seed only because they were missing 2 of their best players for massive stretches of the season. Pablo Banchero missed, I believe he played in 46 games, so he missed nearly half of the season. Franz Wagner, I think, missed 26 games. This team would have been more like a 4 or 5 seed range had those players not missed. And Tatum went in and had a pretty lousy game in his first appearance in this 2025 NBA playoff run too. you. Tatum dropped 17 points on 8 of 22. And unlike Shea, at least Shea only played 23 minutes in that abomination of a game put forth by the Memphis Grizzlies. Jason Tatum played 40 minutes in this game, shot 22 times to score 17 points. I know what you're all thinking though. He does have Brown, last year's Conference Finals MVP and NBA Finals MVP. Surely he must have just had a massive game to carry the Celtics. Brown with a minuscule game in his own right, 16 points on 6 of 14. So with these two all-world caliber players struggling mightily, the Celtics still go out against a very strong Orlando Magic squad, fully healthy Orlando Magic squad now at this point, and win by 17 points. A final in that one of 103-86. So listen, these are two great players, a case study in two great players, two great full court players, guys who do it on both ends in Jason Tatum and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, guys with complete offensive packages as well. And yet they are just surrounded by a robust amount of talent, a historical amount of talent. We see this year the Oklahoma City Thunder set records. They were the #1 net differential team in NBA history, the second rated SRS team in NBA history. Just a year ago, the Boston Celtics did the same thing. They were, I believe they were 5th or 6th all time in net differential, and they obviously cruised through the playoffs, probably like the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to do this year. In fact, these two teams are going to cruise into one another in the finals because they have the best teams. Sure, they're helmed by great players, but they have the best teams, the best complement of supporting casts. The best player in the NBA is going to be grinding and battling to just try to win a first round series here against a very game and prepared Clippers squad. So make sure you check out Nikola Jokic. You might not have many more opportunities to do so this year. There are 6 games remaining in his first round series. Nothing is guaranteed. The Clippers are favored tonight by 1.5, so make sure you tune in and check that out. And guys, make sure you tune in and check me out. If you haven't subscribed to me yet here on YouTube, well, frankly, I just don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button and join me, please, now. You can also follow me on Discord and X. More information on that in the description below. And I know I keep talking about it, keep teasing it, but it is coming. I will be starting a TikTok and an Instagram page. So watch out for additional information on that in some description of an upcoming video as well. And guys, stay tuned for more from me. Until next time.